Part 2.
That's the surface level, like we really was getting deep. And so pretty much, she was saying like, we had to talk like, what did you think? Like, you know, how like, did you know you was gonna match me? You know, just kind of talking. And it was like a thing. It was like, tell me about, like we was talking. It's kind of like, tell me some things. You know what I mean? It's like, it was not just like, you're not confident. Like, we actually was having a conversation, and I said that. You know what I mean? I just said it was like, yeah, I think you can be more confident. And that was our like first big argument. But like I also said in the show, I'm big on communication, big on conversation. So we talked through it. It definitely was kind of early on, so you know, it might have turned her off a little bit. But I was kind of happy that we went through that, because it's like, if we get through this hard stuff now, then it's those roses and flowers at the end. You know what I mean? So it's like, we went through that, we talked through it. It was a tough talk, but we got through it. And then that pretty much was the theme. It was like, whatever a hard conversation is, like you said, with the past, we had a hard conversation about that as well. And that was something that I haven't experienced before, so it was difficult for me. So I like sought counsel for that. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my best friend, talked to female friends. Shout out BM. He helped me with counsel as well with that. So yeah, and then I got over it. And yeah, but it's like basically more specific, like she's saying, being in like the entertainment world. Like, I've never talked to someone, you know, who did that before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was even going so much to the point where I was getting counsel from her. Like, hey, how did you have you gone through this before? You know what I mean? So I was being true to who I was, as far as like trying to have the communication part at a high level. But it's just like something that I kind of learned from. I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but something I kind of learned from it is like, if someone is like has like past trauma or something like this, it's like you have to tread lightly when you're talking to them. And because, like I'm just telling you, like I'm big on communication, so it might seem like I'm poking a bear, but I'm really trying to learn you to figure out how I can love you better. You know what I mean? So, but if I'm triggering something and not realizing it, and it just seems like I'm antagonizing, you feel like, you know, you're defending yourself every day, then like in hindsight, I can see how it looked from her perspective. But in that moment, I was just like, you're fighting stuff for me. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I have to take responsibility for that as well.
Okay, so she's saying, you know, you got to know her and all that stuff, but she didn't really get much out of you. Like, what was the reasoning for that? Like, why didn't you open up, I guess?
So it's not like a thing of like, I'm not opening up, like I'm an open book. You can tell like communication is good for me, but it's like we were so far, I would say I was so focused on that part that is like, I couldn't get past it. You know what I mean?
All right, so you couldn't get past certain things, so you don't open up, but you spend 2 weeks with her every day. At what point did you say, this is not really for me, right? But you're spending every day with this woman.
A minute, like I said, I was talking to people, even talking to her to figure out like, hey, like I don't know what the past is looking like I don't know if something like, is she really telling me the truth type stuff.
So basically he thought she was whoring around, right? So that's the man's worst fear. That he gets with a woman, she's beautiful, she's single, but previously she was pretty much just sliding up and down, you know, whatever man she met. And that's their business. And she has every right if that's what she wanted to do with her life, you know? But that's what he's thinking right now. Like, hey, was she out here, especially being in the entertainment industry? He's thinking, okay, you're around athletes and rappers, and, you know, there's a stigma with the women who are around those guys. So his mind was wondering, and he didn't give her a chance. That's what it seems like right now.
But like I said, the beauty of it, when you have a conversation with your partner, you can get over. So I was working towards getting over those things, and I was getting over those things, I feel. But I think possibly the damage is done already, where it's like, you got over it, but I'm not. And you know, and then she wasn't feeling it.
I don't think he got over it.
Okay.
I really don't. This kind of, like, once it was out there, it dragged the whole month. Like, we
And I don't think she's lying.
really just stopped talking like a week ago.
Wow.
So it never stopped. And then as far as like trauma, like I don't have trauma of my past. Like I've grown from it. Like I said, this is 6 years ago. I would hope that I've grown from it, you know, like, so it's kind of like to have someone come into your life and not know you and then call it a trauma or say that you're lacking in confidence or when you've done all these crazy, wonderful things that a lot of people are afraid to do, it's like, what? Like, who are you talking to? Like, you're not talking to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a confident person. I'm just a private person. I'm a calm person. So a lot of people don't know how to accept that. So when they see me, it's always, I gotta be doing something or I gotta, but that's not the case. Like, when I was in the entertainment world, I did have a partner. I didn't have to do any of the extra crazy stuff that a lot of other women do. I never dabbled in drugs. I didn't have to cope with anything. Like, where
I don't think she's lying.
there was a mission and that was all there was to it. And so explaining that to him, he wasn't understanding that. It just was like, no, that's not true. That's not true. And then it was like, well, I'm an eligible bachelor. Why would I settle for someone with your past? So it's like you're taking these jabs.
So he said this.
Yes. Yes. So it's like you're taking these jabs.
He's shaking his head no. But let's hear it out.
But you want me to just be like, oh, it's fine, let's move on. But it's like, how can I be with someone that sees me in such a negative way and not even letting me like show him who I am or what I can do or what I offer. Like, I am a soldier. Like, I will go tooth and nail for my man. So it's like, for someone to just come into my life that is asking me all these questions, I'm being very open about everything. Like, everything. Like, I showed him my OnlyFans.
Oh,
Girl, showed it to him. And he was like, oh, that's not even that bad. Yeah, because I've never been that girl. I never had to go the extra mile.
okay.
And he couldn't accept the fact that
She was open, she was transparent. She showed him exactly who she is. You can't get mad at that. And I'm gonna hear what he has to say, because she's upfront. Look, here's my OnlyFans.
I didn't have to do all that to get where I wanted to be. So it's kind of like it was like he was stuck in a stigma or like what's the word, stereotype. And it's just like, I'm a multifaceted woman. Like, I'm educated. I have my associate's degree. I'm working on my bachelor's degree. I hustle. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like, if that's not something.
I'm not gonna attack her, but associates in 2024, halfway through, about to be in 2025, is not gonna do it. That's a whole nother conversation, but she's got something and she's building on it. So, which is cool.
That you're okay with, or then I'm not for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're not gonna put me in a place to win, I'm gonna go put myself in a place to win. So it's just, that never ended. It never ended. It was just, it got to a point where I was like, every time he was like, I gotta talk to you about something, I'd be like, let me sit down. Yeah, so it was just like the icing on the cake. That was pretty much it. Like, I just can't be with someone that can't let me grow past where I've already grown from. Like, you're taking me back to where I've came, like, I don't need to go backwards. I need to go forward. So that's kind of where I was at with that.